All right, so I made a bunch of videos, a few clips and that as I was doing the panel upgrade on my plane. Um, I wasn't sure if I was going to publish them or not. Then things changed along the way, as they always do when we get into these kind of projects. And then, as we all know, with the whole virus thing going on, that changes everything again. So I had the plane all put together, and you'll see in some of my clips where I was going to be reusing my old radio GPS unit. Had everything all together, was about to head out to test flight, and the radio wouldn't transmit or receive. The one thing I didn't work on is the one thing that quit working. And I had to leave 2 days later. I was scheduled to be out of town for 6 weeks. So as soon as I left, rather than, having to worry about it when I came back, I figured, okay, well, now's the time to just go ahead and do a full upgrade and put in a brand new radio with a built-in intercom. So I put in a Garmin GTR 200 Bluetooth. So that gives me a brand new radio comm unit. And then for GPS, I knew I wanted to make this plane IFR capable. Even though the RV4, it's not something that I want to fly hours of, hard IFR. I do want to be able to break through a layer, get up on top, shoot an approach, get on the ground. So I can, make it more useful as well as being the ultimate toy. So while I was out of town, I went ahead and ordered the radio and a Garmin 175 GPS. And then the virus struck, and instead of being gone for 6 weeks, I was only gone a little over a week. They sent me back home. And of course, by then, all the shipping, everything's on slowdown. So I end up sitting around waiting on parts. Everything came in, finally started getting everything all put together. And now what we have is what's before you here. I still plan to add a autopilot and a G5 for a backup attitude indicator before I start doing any sort of actual IFR with it. But now comes the steep learning curve, and everything is all wired. Everything's been tested, and now it just comes back to going ahead and doing that first test flight, which today it's raining, so it's not going to happen today. Tomorrow the forecast is looking pretty good. So my plan is tomorrow morning to go out and test fly it, and that'll be another video. Thanks. All right, so I'm recording this just because I've been seeing a lot of these people posting vlogs and thought people might be interested in what I'm doing. I've been posting some flying videos, haven't done anything with any talking. About a couple weeks ago, I started redoing my entire instrument panel. As you can tell, it's cold. You can see my breath. So we're out here in the hangar. I've got a hand-laid, a carbon fiber panel up. Been working on making the rack mounts, working on the wiring, and got to thank everybody on YouTube for all the stuff I've been learning on there, especially Mike Patey. I've been watching his vacuum forming of carbon fiber and that. So I decided to go with a Grand Rapids Sport EX, a Garmin 327, and I already had the Uavonics Echo UAT ADS-B. So I'm wiring all that together. I still got my old GNC 250 GPS comm unit. I eventually hope to add a Garmin 175 or 650 or something to give me an IFR GPS and a 650 for backup for the AHRs, for, flying IFR. And, eventually add the autopilot and everything that Grand Rapids supports. So far, this is what I've got going, is the actual panel. I didn't take any video of the process of making it. I should have. I got some pictures and that, so I'll put in a little bit of a slideshow with that. And right now, it's the plane, when I bought it, had one EGT, one CHT. The CHT didn't work. It was one of the ring terminal style. So with the Grand Rapids Sport EX, I got their full remote engine monitor system on it. So now I'm going to have a whole plethora of sensors, which also means I have to install all the sensors and then wire everything up. So right now it looks like a rat's nest. I promise it will be cleaned up a whole lot better. But, my plan is to try and have as minimum downtime as possible. I can't stand not flying. I lose my freaking mind. So I took today off of work. Luckily, it's supposed to warm up a little bit the next couple days. I got a propane heater going, a kerosene heater going, trying to get some heat in this hangar because it's only about 15 degrees outside right now. And the walls and that aren't insulated in this hangar. But we're making some progress, and hopefully I'll have it back in the air here as soon as possible because I can't stand being grounded. All right, so it was a very productive weekend. We worked over here, most of the weekend. We went and did see some friends and stuff, but got a lot done. We now have the panel installed. I still have a little bit of wiring to finish up, but everything is powered up, talking to each other. Got ADS-B showing up on the Grand Rapids. We've got the Grand Rapids working as the altitude encoder for the transponder. So all of that seems to be working pretty well. We're making progress. My plan is I'm hoping to have it in the air again by next weekend. Not sure if I'm going to make that or not. I end up having to order a few more parts from Vans because with the way the old fuel pressure and oil pressure system was hooked up, it had rigid lines going to the panel, a few other things that I just didn't care for. And I was going to try and just use the sensors right on the engine. Again, with vibration and that's not the greatest idea. So I went ahead and I ordered the manifold that mounts on the firewall and the hoses from Vans. I ordered them last night, Sunday night. So, usually they're pretty quick on getting things shipped out. So hopefully that'll come out pretty quick. Started tidying up some of the wiring behind the panel. Still got a lot more cleanup work to do. Got to try and make it look somewhat professional. And also decided while we've got it down, for this, we're working on a few other projects. Sandy's been over here helping me with quite a bit of this, getting a lot of the work done, making things go a lot faster. And when I've been working on stuff that she can't help with, she's worked on a few other little side projects that are going to be revealed here real shortly. We decided the plane is essentially being reborn, and we're going to be redoing a lot of things. One thing I've wanted to do ever since I got the plane, and we're going to go ahead and finally get done while we're down, is we are going to go ahead and make a carbon fiber plenum lid for it and get rid of the rubber baffling. And so yesterday we were pouring expanding foam. Still need to get a little bit more in there. Got a big thick plastic sheet protecting the engine and started dumping some of it in there. And then I'm hoping by the end of today to have it shaped to work as a mold. And then from that, we'll be able to lay up the carbon fiber and give a nice sealed plenum. That should hopefully help with cooling. Again, with the limited instrumentation I had before, I don't know if I had cooling problems or not. I just flew the plane, didn't have very much instrumentation. Now I'm going to have lots of instrumentation. But also, I've always been a speed freak since the day I was born. Cars, motorcycles, whatever it was. And if the plenum's going to give me, a little bit more speed by reducing cooling drag, that's what we're going with. So that's just my quick little update, and we'll get back to work at it. And hopefully by the end of the day today, I'll have made a whole lot more progress. All right, so it's been another long day out here at the hangar, but making quite a bit of progress. Got the EFIS all hooked up, engine monitor. Been trying to work on cleaning some of the wiring up. It's still looking a little ugly, but getting it bundled up. We put in one of the, let's see if I can get it down there so you can see. one of the manifolds for the pressure senders and braided steel lines for oil and fuel pressure. Got rid of the heavy battery that was in it. Put in a Earthex LiPo battery, only 3.9 pounds. So overall, the plane, I'm going to put it on some actual digital scales. I never verified the weight after I bought it, going off the last weight and balance, but I'm hoping to show a good 30-pound weight loss on top of, better power, getting rid of the vacuum pump, less draw on the engine. Just put in, almost done installing the EMAG, PMAG, electronic ignition. So excited to see how she's going to fly.